I would like to tell a story though, one of the craziest nights of my life. It involved cruising Nettleton our senior year. Me and Brian Morgan and Angie and Big Larry, I'm giving you all the people that were involved in this. I'm not protecting anybody that's innocent or guilty. And Andy Brown, you remember Andy Brown? She became Andy Bandy. She married somebody, true story, she married somebody named Miles Bandy, so she was Andy Bandy. And she embraced that. She was happy, she used that to her, and she was very successful in the lending business on account of her great name. But anyway, Andy, Angie, Brent, Big Larry, and me. We were cruising Nettleton, and one of the things that we used to do when we were cruising Nettleton is we used to throw things on other people, which was not smart. But we would throw water on people, and we would throw ketchup on people. And I'm not talking like the packets, you can't hardly get the packets to land, you open up, throw it, and the wind would catch it. We would go to restaurants, and those little white paper cups, we would pump them full of ketchup, and we would throw them, as cars were meeting us, we would throw them and hit their windshield. And of course, when something hits your windshield, your reaction is turn the windshield wiper on, so we would just smear ketchup all over. We used to do that. And so on this particular night, I don't know if you all remember or not, but there was a couple of guys that used to cruise Nettleton all the time. They were not from Nettleton. They were, I think they were mainly Votech guys. They drove a red Dodge Charger, just like the Duke boys on the General Lee on the Dukes of Hazzard. So we didn't know their names. We just called them the Duke boys. And we always making jokes about the Duke boys. Hey, where's Cousin Daisy? We would say that behind their backs because they were pretty rough guys. And so this one particular night we were cruising and we were throwing ketchup, and we saw the General Lee hanging a ride out of Sonic getting on to Nettleton as we were about to pull into Sonic. And Brian Morgan hollered out, "Get the Dukes!" It was you. You called it. And I don't know who threw it. I promise you, that's lost in the fog of my memory. But one of us threw a ketchup, very well may have been me, but threw a ketchup packet, and it hit the Duke boys' windshield at the General Lee. Just bam! And ketchup everywhere. And we thought it was hilarious. We got the Duke boys, that's awesome, we got the Duke boys. So we turned around, and we saw their brake lights, but we didn't think nothing of it, So Jared Reese was driving. I might have told that. We were in Jared Reese's mom's car. Oh yeah. It was, she had a Chevy Celebrity, and we were cruising in that. And so we made the round, and we came back by Circus, where TJ and I had our fight last night. And we saw the Duke boys waiting for us there. And one of the Duke boys took off running after us. Well, luckily, the left turn lane, there was a green light. So Jake Reese just pulled over in that lane, took off, hung a left on Stadium, heading toward the overpass. And we, looked back, the Duke boy, he was running after us, he was going to beat us up. We thought that was funny. The Duke boy was chasing us. We weren't very smart. If we would have been smart, we'd have went home right then. We were not very smart. We stayed up there, and we came back around. I think we probably hit Aggie Airport, came back, got on Nettleton, made the loop one more time. And this time, whenever we went back by Circus, the General Lee was there waiting, the Duke boy's car, and he pulled out and got right behind us. And Jake, again, pulled over in the left turn lane and punched it and made the left turn. Thankfully the light was green, and we hung a left there on Stadium, and the chase was on. The Duke boys and the General Lee, probably had a Hemi in it, all right? Souped up car. Jake Reese, his mom and her Chevy Celebrity. 4-cylinder. It would barely climb the hill of the overpass, And so, Jake was going as fast as he could, and the Duke boys were gaining on us quickly, because of a much faster car. And by the time we topped that hill, I mean, they were just almost right on us. And they were in the left lane, we were in the right lane. And so, and by this time, we were probably going, 65, 70, 80 miles an hour. We were exceeding the speed limit. And we were going down the hill. Y'all know where I'm at, the State Boulevard overpass. And Aggie Road intersects there. One of the greatest driving maneuvers I've ever witnessed. Jay Grease, that little weasel, he slipped out of it, man. It was a thing of beauty, because at this point the General Lee was right up even with us, and they were hanging out the door and making obscene gestures and calling us ugly names and threatening to beat us up. And they were right next to us. And as we got to that intersection, Jay Grease slams on the brakes, turns the wheel hard to the right, and he makes a right turn onto Aggie, and the General Lee couldn't do anything about it other than just keep on going straight. We thought that was the greatest thing ever, man. Jake had given them the slip. It was awesome. Now, if we would have been smart, we'd have gone home right then. Because that's a good story. That's a good story. We gave him the slip. We outrun the General Lee. Roscoe Coltrane could never do that. But we did,
I think that was some of Bobby's friends. I think.
Dear Lord. Bobby, I beg you, please don't tell me. So,
I think they were about 5 years older than you. They're probably ready to kick you away.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I will make sure they'll know where you were.
Please don't, Angie. I beg you. So we were smart enough to get out of town. We went to Paragould, because you could cruise West Kings Highway in Paragould with all the.
That's dangerous.
Oh yeah, it's a very dangerous place. That's where we went. We thought we'd let the Duke boys cool down, and obviously they're after us and they don't mind chasing us. So let's just let them cool their heels a little bit. Go to the boar's nest. Cool their breakfast. Anyway, but curfew came along. I had to be home at 11:30. So about 10:55 or so, I'm like, Jake, it's time to take me back. We were parked at the Burger King parking lot. And so we get on Nettleton, look at the Circus parking lot, don't see the General Lee. Okay, maybe we're good. So we creep down Nettleton, we get in the left turn lane on Caraway. And out of my peripheral vision, I see a red flash. It's the General Lee and that old Exxon station there at Nettleton and Caraway. And, flying through that parking lot, slams on the brakes, and one of the Duke boys, I don't know if it's Bo or Luke, one of the Duke boys gets out and starts running to our car. All right, and I'm in the back seat, driver's side.
Like you were last night.
Yes, like I was last night. Jared Reese is right here, and the light is red this time. No green light. We're stuck there. There's cars in front of us. We're stuck. And that Duke boy was running, and Jake Reese immediately, being the weasel that he is, tried to roll up the window. But it wasn't one of those. If it was one of those, the old-fashioned one, he'd be in good shape. He could roll up the window real quick. It was one of those automated ones, and I guess the motor was about burned out on the thing. That's it, Bob Joe. I swear it's the slowest thing I've ever seen. Jake pushed that button, and that window was like, And it's a race. That Duke boy was running across there, and that window was up, and it didn't get up high enough because the Duke boy, he stopped right there, and he reached that big right hand back, and he slapped the spit out of Jerry Reese. Bam!
He helped me, Larry. He got your back.
I was sitting right behind. I saw it. I mean, saliva flew out of his mouth. Everybody in the car got a shower because he got slapped by the Duke boy. And so the Duke boy slapped him, and by this time the window was up far enough he couldn't get a second lick in. And so the Duke boy was like, come on! Come on! Jesse Floyd, come on! Come on! And he was telling, Jake to come on. Well, Jake did not want to come on. Jake had all he wanted there with his buddies, with a couple of pretty girls, and he had to save face. So Jake was just gonna stomp on the accelerator and burn out because the light had turned green. He was gonna burn out in front of the guy, leave him in the smoke of his tires. Unfortunately, the little 4-cylinder Celebrity was front wheel drive. It could not burn out. And Jake stomped on it, and that car's like, no, 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 no. Jake turned left, I looked back, and that guy, he was flipping us off. No, come on. So we got back to the Burger King parking lot. We ran to our vehicles and went home. And friends of ours, Jeremy Ellison was at Votech at the time. He knew those guys, and he didn't know exactly who we were, but he knew what we drove, a white Chevy Celebrity. And he put the word out, I'm going to kick those guys' butts, And so we never drove Jake's mom's car again. Unfortunately, though, in a tragic incident, 2 weeks later, Jared Reese's mom got beat up.